See the world let the... Oh hey! It's Christmas time here at Sherlock and the festive spirit is all around us. So here's another big week of the Premier League for you. So here we are for the last week of the year for us at the Sherlock, and it's an intriguing round. There's not a lot of huge matchups, but some very interesting contests. First up sees Wigan hosting Arsenal. Wigan have not won a game since November. They're really struggling at the moment. Arsenal, on the other hand, have turned around their fortunes. They won 5-2 over Reading during the week. Santi Cazorla stayed on his feet and scored a hat-trick, so that was really good for him. They're up to 5th on the table now and are looking to continue that run. I think they will go to Wigan and win 3-0. That one is 11:45 on Saturday night. Then we have at 2 AM Tottenham hosting Stoke. Tottenham had a good 1-0 win against Swansea last week. Vertonghen scored a good goal. Bale still remains under an injury. Glad he didn't play last week. Hopefully he can get back fit for them. He makes a big difference. Stoke held by Everton. They have only conceded 13 goals this season. They have the most miserly defence in the Prem, but they've only scored 15. So very tight. You know, Stoke games don't creep out to big scores, but I think will struggle at Tottenham. Tottenham will win 1-0. Next up sees West Brom hosting Norwich. Both teams playing quite well. Norwich have pushed up to 7th on the table this season. They have gone 10 matches unbeaten. The Canaries doing very well. Pushed up to 8th. Sorry, not 7th. So this is 7th versus 8th. The winner goes up. I think it'll be Norwich 2-1. Then we see West Ham versus Everton. West Ham were a bit dour against West Brom last week, and 0-0 draw, pretty dull. Everton drew 1-1 with Stoke. Fellaini has received a 3-match suspension for headbutting Ryan Shawcross, and that could have been his last game in an Everton jersey. A lot of rumours circulating that in January he'll get picked up by a much bigger club and be on his way. Not entirely sure there, but they'll probably go down to the Boylan Ground in East London, and I'm going to say 1-1. Next, we have Man City hosting Reading. Man City turned it on last week against Newcastle. That was a huge win. It was only 3-1. Could have been a lot further. They played really well. They're clicking through the middle. Reading, on the other hand, dead last, have had just 1 win this season. For Man City, Mario Balotelli could be on his way out. Apparently the club has landed a humongous fine for all his recent discrepancies on him, that he's gone to the Premier League administration itself and said, I don't want to have to pay this fine, help me out. Not sure if they will. Footballing though, Man City are going to thump Reading. That'll be 5-0. Newcastle host QPR this weekend. The Magpies started really well against Man City. Could have 2 quick ones, but could not score, and they ended up losing. QPR, on the other hand, had their first win of the season. Maybe a bit of Harry Redknapp magic. He has got Adel Taarabt playing brilliantly. Taarabt scored 2 goals, just weaves his way around defenders. He's really playing well. If he can keep his head on, he could really lead QPR to maybe even stay safe this season. I think they'll go up to St James's Park and draw 1-1. Then we have Southampton versus Sunderland. Both sides really struggling this year. Southampton haven't played since the 8th, 2 weeks ago. Sunderland getting there. They were competitive against Man United, but not great. I'm going to say 0-0. Liverpool versus Fulham next. Liverpool went down to Aston Villa at home. They got beaten 3-0, and it was a late... No, sorry, 3-1, and it was a late consolation from Gerrard, and with a minute to go. They've got a real lack of firepower. Suarez has scored 10 goals up front, but that's really it. There's no one else that they can, week in, week out, look to for goals. Struggling a lot there. But, that being said, Brendan Rodgers, there's been little calls for him to get sacked. He's in a very similar place to Roy Hodgson was a couple of seasons ago, and no one's sort of got up in arms yet and called for his head, so we'll see what happens. But Fulham did lose to QPR last week. I think they'll go to Liverpool, who are struggling, and that'll be a 1-1 draw. Swansea host Man United next, down at the Liberty Stadium in Wales. Swansea have got Michu, who has scored 12 goals this year. He's tied with Van Persie in the league for top scorer, playing brilliantly. They might score first in this one, I think, because United still have a very leaky defence. They're winning a lot of games by a goal or so. Very exciting to watch, but not very dependable. Again, Van Persie is doing very well at that club. Settled so well. I think they will win 4-2. And then our last match of the week sees Chelsea hosting Aston Villa. Chelsea crashed out of the Club World Cup, beaten by Corinthians in the final. Torres was great in the semis. Everyone said, oh, he's got his touchback, he's going to be brilliant. And then looked rubbish, looked forlorn, looked disinterested. So, real struggles there with Chelsea. Villa, on the other hand, had that big win at Liverpool. They've got a really young squad, no Darren Bent, but they're getting it done for the manager. And they are $9, the current odds, to go to Chelsea and get a win. I'm going to tip them to do it. Maybe put a few dollars in that, we'll see what happens. I reckon 2 goals to 1. So that's us for another week and us for the year. From everyone here at the Sherlock, please have a good Christmas, stay safe, and we'll see you in the new year.